We are live reacting to the Bloomburrow debut video.
Heyo!
Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Sticker promo, it's my new gig on Spell Table. Dude, here's the thing. The sticker has become the logo now. Like, part of the branding now is just the white dye around the sticker, or around the logo, because the sticker looked so good.
We need to make more of those soon.
I have plenty of stickers. Shouts out, stickers, 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 stickers.
I thought for a minute there we were talking about, like, stickers on Arena.
Oh, nah.
I love stickers. I just bought more.
You out here buying stickers on Arena?
Dropped 14,000 gold on the summer sticker bundle.
Pamatembo said, let's just mute John now. It doesn't have to be just in Arena.
Okay. Welcome back to
the John slander. This is just what we do on stream, is just slander John.
This is the actual, like, trailer for the set itself,
Sick.
and it's done in this fantastic animation. I've seen this already.
All right, let's go. Music. Oh, dude, I'm so here for the Frog Wizards.
Oh, the little water bubbles? Yeah, this is so
Yes.
good.
Bro, it looks amazing.
But
really quiet.
I watched this. Someone had like a video recording of this from Amsterdam. So
Yeah.
nice to see this actually in HD.
Turn up YouTube. It's turning up, brother. It's just really quiet right now. Aw, he can't do it.
He's learning. Or she.
Is that... Wait, Swords confirmed? Sword of X and X confirmed?
Yeah. I think the little one who's learning, I think that's Mabel, but I don't know that for certain.
Man, I'm glad that you're here for lore.
Thank you. This friend is our Calamity Beast.
Calamity Beast?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of, like, the big wandering monsters of the world. They cause natural calamities and things like that. The whole story revolved around Reha, I want to say. Reha the Night Owl.
Okay. Okay. Dude, this is killer. No! No! This is a pretty deep cut because it requires a VR, but if you've ever played the game Moss, it is eerily similar. Oh, come on. Beat him up. Goodness.
Our Lord and Savior's elks are returning.
Somewhere out. Make sure I'm actually seeing all of the stream chat here. Out there. There's Bloomburrow.
Welcome to Valley, a world filled to the brim with creatures, big and small.
You're too young to know about Feyvel? I don't know it.
Yeah, I don't either. That's me, too young.
The largest settlement in Valley is Three Tree City.
Alright, so there's Three Tree City. That was leaked a couple weeks ago, so confirmed.
Built across three ancient intertwined trees.
Ooh, yep. Choose a creature type. Choose a color, add amount of mana. Yeah, good for typal decks.
Surfboard frog! That was so neat!
Most comfortable in water,
Surfboard frog?
There was a
yeah,
frog
dude.
that was surfing on a lily pad.
Three Tree City has a place for them to call home.
Okay.
The upper branches of Three Tree City are filled with a dazzling array of bird folk.
Oh, that
Capable
spiky
of
hat.
great deeds of chivalry and selflessness. The bird folk are known for their inability
Dang, I think you're like a hair ahead of me, John.
justice.
I'm watching off YouTube.
Perhaps nothing
Yeah, me too.
demonstrates the character of the
Plume
bird
Creed
folk
Mentor.
quite like
Another
the
creature you
Plume
control with
Creed.
flying enters, put a
risky
counter on a
venture
creature
to
you
the tip of
control
the world.
without flying.
A mighty
Oh,
feat
weird.
that no one but
Incentivizing you to play both
brave
flying
bird
and
folk
non-flying
can
creatures.
Bird tribal,
You can
yay!
recognize a bird folk who has completed the
Castrol,
clean
one or more
feat by
birds
the
you control
single
deals
feather
combat
they
damage to a
wear atop
player.
their
You can
head.
put a bird from your hand or
Included in
graveyard
this
onto the
set are
battlefield with a
several
finality
booster
counter on
fun
it.
treatments to collect.
And then put a
One
counter on
being
each
the
bird you control,
borderless
draw a
raised
card.
foil
That's
anime card.
crazy.
Ooh, look at that.
Dazzling
Raised
Dude.
foil
and
animes.
exciting
They're
anime
bringing
art
back the
make these
raised
cards
gold
the
from
apex of
New Capenna.
collectability.
Nice.
Find English versions globally in collector boosters. And Japanese
More confusing
versions
booster stuff.
exclusively
Yeah.
in
Oh,
Japanese
not
collector
Japanese
boosters.
exclusives.
The charming new
That's a
showcase
bummer.
woodland
That's a
frame
real
treatment
bummer. That's
reads
Japanese
King
exclusive.
Castrol.
cards
Okay, I'm
in
gonna move the
frames
chat
of
while we're
foliage,
doing this.
evoking a sense of pastoral beauty.
Castrol the
and natural
Wind Crested.
elegance. They encapsulate
God, it's
the
so
cozy
beautiful.
energy of Bloomburrow and allow
Did they say
players to
that's
showcase
gonna be
their
the
fondness for
exclusive
these
one, the
kindred
Japan
animals
exclusive?
and express their
The
own
one in the
unique
middle with the
personalities.
raised foil was in
The
Japanese
closest
collector
natural
boosters.
allies of the
Got
bird
it.
folk are the
Deep
mouse
Glaze
folk.
Mentor, Vigilance Haste,
Plucky,
Valiant.
loyal seekers of adventure and
Target spell or
glory.
ability you control for the first
Mouse
time
folk
each
have
turn.
large
Thanks, Nadu.
interconnected families. There are few problems mousefolk can't overcome together.
Okay, so it's fixed heroic.
All
seems
to
animals
be,
of
yeah.
the
Worse-
cherish
worse
their
heroic?
young, and springtime is particularly rich with new life. The new mechanic. Offspring,
Whoa, so that's what
enables you to
Offspring
create
is?
Offspring.
1/1
Pay an additional 2, so it's
tokens
kicker. If you
that
do,
represent
create a
the young
1/1 token
version of
copy of it.
animal
That's so
species.
sick.
The offspring of
Huh,
your
Comes
I
as target
mean,
of a spell.
that makes sense.
Mice you control get 1/0. So it's
The only
like
difference
board
is
in a
their
box
1/1 power
on
and
kicker that
toughness.
makes 1/1
They
token
are still
copies
When
children.
you
of
attack
things.
to create one white rabbit creature token is tapped and
These
attacking
young
and attacking
creatures of value show
Whoa.
promise and are
Whenever
eager
you
to take on
attack,
the adventures
choose
that
one.
lie ahead.
Make
Wow.
a rabbit that's tapped and attacking, or attacking creature get +1/+1.
Rabbit
That's
folk
tight.
are also
You could have a
community
second one of
traders,
those, too.
as well as
And it'd be
being
on-
talented chefs and
Yeah,
farmers
then you could just
who
choose
provide
both.
food to
Oh
most
man,
of the
that's
creatures
really
of
neat.
value.
That is tight. John, you are
More
like 2
conflict
seconds ahead of me,
develops as a
so
rule,
just hold your
preferring
reactions
to
for
let
a
trouble
second
blow
to
over
stuff.
Okay.
rather
If you
than
can.
stick their noses
Wait
in.
until you hear me talk about
That
it.
doesn't mean that they can't defend themselves, though. Phineas is one such
Okay, Phineas
guardian of the
Ace
animal
Archer
folk
is
valley.
2 mana, Vigilance
This
Reach
adeptly
2/2,
trained
pretty good.
archer stands ready
Attacks,
to
put a
protect
counter on
his
each
home
other
from
creature you
afar,
control that's a
as
token
well
or
as
a
his
rabbit.
companions
If
as
creatures
they
you control have
venture
total
through
power
the
10 or greater, draw a card. That's
Gathering
crazy for 2
together
mana.
is a surefire path to strength.
More rabbits bad.
Rabbits and
Bloomburrow
tokens.
encourages your creatures to
Rabbits,
band
bats,
together
birds,
so they
mice,
can
enter
gain
scry
extra
one,
benefits.
and then
These
it's a
kindred
lord.
animal folk
Sick.
must share with
Yeah,
each
dude.
other.
Are we
in
returning
order to
Kindred here?
survive.
I wouldn't be surprised.
The
Not
new
yet.
mechanic, gift.
Gift,
allows you to
okay,
gift
you
your
can promise an
opponent a
opponent as a
benefit
gift.
to reap more value out of a spell or artifact. The gift varies depending on the card.
Ooh, look at
It
that
can
fish
be
token.
food tokens, an extra card, a 1/1 fish, or something
Beautiful.
else.
That's a nice fish.
Through their natural durability, the strength of their kindred bonds, and the willingness to share, the
Cannonball.
animal folk
Yeah.
valley can
Fish has got the
survive
right idea.
against
Cannonball,
Cannonball
yep.
with Offspring.
I'm gonna give you this
There are
gift
those
for
in
no
value
other
that
reason.
prefer moonlight to sunlight. Batfolk are deeply protective of their community.
Here, wait, John,
Occasionally
literally just pause your
superstitious,
video for 2
and
seconds,
focused on
and then
maintaining the
restart it.
balance between all things,
Alright.
light and darkness, life and death, and of course,
Stars.
day and night. Nocturnal
Gained
creatures.
or lost
they
life.
use the moon and
Okay,
stars
getting rid
to
of you
determine
gained
their
or
choices
lost life,
and fuel
loses
their
3 life
magic.
unless they sack it.
As a
Wow,
result of being awake
that's a lot
when
for
others
5
are asleep,
mana.
they serve
but
as silent guardians
basically,
That's
if your
cool.
life
vulnerable
changes,
creatures of valley.
it's also target opponent loses 3 life unless they sacrifice
Raccoon
something.
folk are
Let's talk
free-spirited
about
wanderers,
raccoons.
collectors, and
You
Yeah,
fool!
way too
Raccoon
expensive
toots
fish.
as he
Moira,
pleases.
trash
Yeah.
tactician,
Moira,
wields
trash
new
tactician.
mechanic, expend,
Whenever you expend,
rewarding you for spending 4 or more mana in a
you
single
spend your
turn.
4th total
This
mana to
fearsome
cast
raccoon
a spells this
also
turn.
likes to
Oh,
work
weird.
closely
That's
with fellow
hard to keep
raccoon
track
folk,
of.
adding red
Whenever you
or
expend
green mana
8,
for each raccoon
exile the
you
top
control.
2 cards of your library until any turn you may play those.
Rather than settling down
So
in
expending is
Free
just
Tree
keeping
City
track
or
of the
elsewhere,
total amount of mana that
raccoons
you've
spend
spent.
their lives on the moon,
Okay.
acquiring
Huh.
a hoard of objects along
Interesting.
the way.
I bet that'll. I mean, that
Some
just
may call it
rewards you
trash,
for playing the
but to a
game. So I
raccoon,
think
Take out the
that'll.
trash.
every broken piece of wagon wheel.
Brilliant.
That's gonna be amazing. These like trash
There are
mancers.
even more creatures who thrive in odd and adverse circumstances.
Yeah, fish is into the
in
raccoons.
Free Tree City. The lizard.
Yeah,
folk
lizards.
are
Oh,
expressive
lizards, baby.
artists.
Do
Talk
we get
to me
more
about-
lizard
They
wizards?
value
Give
creation
me
and
lizard
destruction
wizards.
in equal
Valley
measure.
Flamecaller is the name of this card.
Lizards also have a spiritual attachment.
There's a
to
lizard
life.
warlock. Come on.
As cold-blooded
Look at your
creatures,
second main
they
phase.
rely on
If an
heat
opponent
from
lost life
flames
this turn,
when
exile the top 2
sunbathing is
cards of your
not an
library.
option.
Choose one of them
Lizard
until end of turn. You may
communities
play
can
that
often can
part.
be found bundled
Easy.
together around a fire or furnace,
Quick,
Yeah,
just
there's
some quick spectacle.
Yeah, there's some like all of these abilities so far have just rewarded you for playing the game.
The squirrel folk
There's been
are
no
morbid
like go out of
stewards
your
of
way to
land
do
and
Yes,
life-death
yes,
cycle.
squirrels.
Though they focus
Let's do
mostly
it.
on burying the
Evil
remains of
squirrels.
the dead,
Menace
Seed
of the
miser.
scorpions.
squirrel folk
Yeah,
are
go
able
ahead and read
to
it.
bring bones back from the grave for their own
Whenever you
purposes.
sacrifice one or more
The
food,
squirrel folk have
you make a
also
1/1
become
green squirrel
expert at
token,
maintaining
and then you
themselves
forage.
through caches of food.
Oh, wait, what's
collected through the
forage?
art of foraging.
Sacrificing 3, exiling 3 from your
Forage is a
graveyard,
squirrel
or
food
sacrificing a
mechanic
food.
that allows you to exile 3
Interesting.
cards from your
Cast
graveyard.
creatures from your graveyard, foraging, in addition to
sacrifice a
paying
food
other
token
costs. If you cast a
to
spell,
gain
the
an
creature
effect.
enters with a finality.
Rat folk are
Weird.
isolationist
Okay.
keepers of secrets and ancient
7 or more
rites.
cards in your graveyard
They
return
have
for 1
survived
non-land
harsh
permanent.
circumstances
Oh,
and formed
Threshold!
psychic
Look at
connections
that!
with
Threshold's
native
back.
insects.
Dang!
With their insect companion by their side, rat folk can be quite formidable.
That's
in a
tight.
pinch.
Ooh,
Down
the
where
rats
votaries
have
of
bug
Food Tree
friends.
City,
That's great.
Entirely different groups make their home. The otterfolk are playful and
Hey,
fun-loving,
Ryan's in
with
the
a
chat.
strong
Welcome.
daredevil streak.
What's
We're watching
what's up,
Bloomburrow.
What's
By
up?
storm chasing. The practice of following menacing
Alania's
creatures
Otter
called
Wizard.
calamity beasts
Whenever you
as
cast a
closely
spell,
as
if it's the
possible.
first instant spell, or the
Until
first
danger
sorcery
becomes
spell, or
too
the first
great
otter spell,
even for these
you can have an
adventurous
opponent draw a
creatures.
card. If you do, copy that spell.
The
You choose new
frog
targets.
folk
That's a
are
lot of
curious
text.
and intelligent.
Talk to me about the
They
frogs.
possess a unique culture of orchid.
Talk
The
to me
war-
about the frogs.
which allows
The
them a
worry
limited
wart.
understanding of the future.
Pond
While their
Prophet.
foresight makes them an instrumental
Okay, 4 mana
part of
for a
right
reach,
and
4/4,
value, it
exile a
also
creature you
results
control,
in
return.
many frogs being
Simic Blink?
fatalistic. It's hard to
Activate
smile
only as a
when you can always
sorcery.
see the waiting
That, I mean,
doom.
fine, but off color
Sometimes the
blink.
frog folk, acting on their own
Glarb.
foresight,
Oh,
can bring
Sultai
doom
Frog
on
Wizard
themselves.
Noble.
The wizard Glarb.
Death Touch, look at the top card
has
anytime. Play
recently
lands, cast
stolen
spells,
an
mana
egg
value
from the
4 or
great
greater.
night
And tap to
owl,
surveil 2. I'm obsessed.
inviting retaliatory
obsessed.
wrath from the
Oh, there he is.
Elemental
Maha.
bird.
of darkness.
Mahaha.
This
Flying
Blind
Trample,
Trample.
Ward, discard a card. Yep.
Carries
Uh-oh.
Creatures your opponent to a
nightmares
base
that
toughness
blackens
1.
the sky.
Uh-oh.
By God, that's Toxrill's theme song.
These animals
Or no, that's we
Urga.
chase.
with calamity
Eater of
beasts.
all.
Mighty
Yeah.
creatures
Ward
which
sacrifice.
Ward
blur
sack
the
of
line
food, so
between
hexproof.
flesh and blood animals and
Other
elemental
creatures
forces of
are
nature.
food artifacts in
And
addition to
for
their type.
naturalists, the borderless field notes
And they
treatment
have
captures
okay.
the
So
raw
other creatures are
power of
food.
calamity
When
beasts.
food's put into a graveyard,
Rendered in
you
the
put 2
wild by a
counters on
loving
it.
hand.
He
What?
turns all
People
creatures into
Tree
food.
City are not
Delicious.
The great hero
That's
Mabel
so tight.
forms a party of adventurers
There's
to
Mabel.
protect Valley
There's got to
against
be
the
some kind of
calamity.
infinite that goes with the
Aided by the
halflings from Lord of the Rings that cares
Oh,
all
it
about
has to
food.
be.
Who is more than happy.
Ral
Alright,
Crackling Whip.
there's
We've
the
seen this
Ral.
one before.
Since there
Yeah,
are no
we've seen the
humans
leak
to
of
be
him.
found on Bloomburrow,
Dorm?
Ral has
That's
magically
so
transformed into a
wild.
hunter
Fish
upon
just got
arriving
sick
on this
for
plane.
Toxrill.
How interesting.
Yes, Stormback
But
is
even
crazy.
without help
Yeah, we need to
from
rename the
allies
storm scale now.
outside of Valley,
Yeah.
the
It's
animal
now the
folk
banding
are
scale.
capable of using magic to defend themselves. A cycle of
Look at his
modes
little
that
paws
allows
up.
you to select from a
Season,
list of
choose
3
up to 5
abilities.
paw worth
In
of
this set,
modes.
they're each
Oh,
valued at
interesting. It's
1,
just a way to keep
2,
track of choosing
or
things.
3 paws. Choose
So
up
you
to
could
5
draw
paws worth to
5?
gain those effects.
You may choose the same mode more than once.
More than once.
So you could just draw 5. 6 mana, draw 5.
Returning with a focus on bakers,
Oh, classes are
blacksmiths,
back.
artists, and
Sick.
other villagers. Pay the mana cost at each level
You
to
draw a
gain
card,
its
non-creature
ability,
spells cost 1
working your way
cast.
down to all 3. Life
Sick.
goes on in
John,
Valley.
read it out
The
loud.
turning of the seasons,
Oh, I thought you were
the
reading. I'm
tilling
sorry.
of the earth, and
I'm
the
not gonna interrupt you.
occasional upheaval
These are so
are
neat. Look at
all
these,
aspects
They're
like,
of the
so
everyday to
good.
these
yeah, these
Not
different.
battles like we thought.
It is
Nope,
not
it's
the mighty
classes.
warriors that make
No, so
MTG
that's
City
leaning
what
more
it
into
is.
my theory that
The
battles are in
little folk
Dustborn
who carry
with that
on day
room
after day.
subtype, but that's
There
a
are
topic for
also
another day.
Heroes and commanders in Valley who are truly adept at inspiring the
The
animals
Odd
around
Acorn
them.
Gang.
Led by Bello, Bard of the Brambles.
Bello. During your turn,
the
each
animated
non-equipment
armor
artifact
deck
and
lets you
non-aura
ramp
enchantment
into
you control with
impressive
mana value 4 or
calamity
greater is a
beasts.
4/4
Cast
elemental.
expensive
And whenever the
permanents
creature
to
deals combat damage to a player,
synergize
draw a
with the main
card.
set's
It has
expensive
indestructible.
With
Wait,
Commander
each?
Zinnia, Valley's voice. The family
Wait.
Matters deck specializes in
Never
doubling up
never
on
other creatures
enters the
grow base
battlefield
power of 1.
defense
Creature
by
spells you cast
granting
have
your
Yeah,
offspring
dude.
too.
expert.
Ugh.
Fill the board with 1/1 token.
That's so
versions of
neat.
Your creatures. Hazel of the Root Bloom leads
Okay,
the
pay
Squirrel
2
of the Rain
life,
deck.
tap X, untap
Outvalue your
tokens. So Hazel
foes
cares
with a
about tokens.
combination of squirrel
Make a
and
token's
food
copy of a token
tokens.
you control.
This
If it's a
deck
squirrel, instead you make
includes
2
some
copies of
traditional
it. So it's
kindred
just
effects for squirrel
Yeah,
Squirrel
make spells.
tokens. Yep, big squirrels. Little squirrels, actually, I guess.
Miss
Bumbleflower.
Ms.
Group hug, okay.
Bumbleflower.
When you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card, put a counter on a target creature. It gains flying until the end of turn. If this is the second time it's resolved. Oh, Kroos is gonna love that. Whoa!
That can be found in the commander deck.
That Tameo is beautiful.
Oh, and it says that she's one of 4 that can be found in boosters.
Who happen to end up here, like Rao, are transformed into denizens of Valley. With the Imagine Courageous
This is the coolest magic set that they've put out in years.
And creatures have been utterly transformed by the adorable lens of Bloomburrow.
Oh, that's Chatterfang.
Turns out they're inner
That is
animal
Chatter.
folk.
Yeah,
With
they
the one
didn't.
eye?
They didn't
Nice.
put the name for it, of course. I wonder if that's like if Chatterfang will be like a special guest or
maybe.
There's the okay leak was real JTMS.
Land of animal folk.
Well, there's not even a leak anymore. They showed the card during the
so this
Amsterdam.
This is the extra booster spot.
Oh no, this is special. Sword. Look at that sword of fire and ice. It's a fishbone.
Goodness.
Fish, there you go. That's your sword for you. It's literally a fish sword.
Tree City and all the creatures of
Oh, slow down.
You'll have your chance soon.
You need it. This is just all the cards we saw earlier.
Okay.
For pre-release,
Just different art treatments.
Pre-release is the 26th.
Fish sword.
And on MTG Arena on July the 30th. Otherwise,
I feel like this is the woman that
we'll see you
narrates
on
Spaceship
August the
Earth at
2nd,
Epcot.
when Bloomburrow will be available everywhere.
They needed somebody soft
Thank-
spoken.
Thank the Phoenicians.
And
Flubs the
bundle
fool.
promo card.
Play an additional land, and you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card if you have
Learn
no
more
cards
about
in
the
hand.
adventures of Mabel and her party. with
We might have to
story
go back and,
episodes now online.
I know.
Pause some
We'll
music.
we'll have to go back through when we're done.
Yeah.
Until then,
Squirrel deck and raccoon deck will be
we hope you'll
mine.
come visit us soon. In our peaceful valley under the
Bravekin
trees.
duo. Yeah, is there any is anything bad happening here, or is this just like a sweet little showcase set?
I mean, I guess. I mean, have you been reading any of the story?
Yeah, we're looking for Jace. Colligan's probably here.
All right. So I guess while Joseph figures out how to actually use a computer, chat. What are we what are we feeling? What are we feeling from Bloomburrow?
Okay, I wanted to go back and see this real
The
quick.
animal folk are capable of using magic. Select from a list.
Okay, so Season of Weaving, 6 mana for a sorcery, choose up to 5 paw worth of modes. Choose the same of more than once. So you can either draw 5 cards. 1 paw is draw a card. 2 paws is choose an artifact or creature you control and make a token that's a copy of it. So you could do that twice and draw a card. This is giving... I hate that it's a sorcery. Or 3 is return each non-land, non-token permanent to its owner's hand.
It's weird. It's weird that it only gives you up to 5 worth, and you can't do all 3 modes.
Well, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I wonder, I'm sure there's going to be some card that's like you can spend an extra paw or something.
I don't think so, because there was the early teaser from Mark. It said that the cycle of cards that have a new symbol on them, they're the only 5 that do it at Mythic.
Interesting. So there's going to be a cycle of seasons.
Yes.
Got it.
That would make sense.
So this one looks like it'll be really good doing like 3 to bounce everything, 2 to make a copy of something you control. So for 6 mana, you make a token copy and then basically bounce everything else because it's non-land, non-token permanents and you go in order down.
Yeah, I guess so. That's
so
kind of like
basically saves one of your creatures and then bounces everything else.
That reminds me of Supplant Form from Fate Reforged.
Okay, I want to see what each of the commanders does. During your turn, so for 3 mana, it's a 3/3 Raccoon Bard. During your turn, each non-equipment artifact, and non-aura enchantment you control with mana value 4 or greater is a 4/4 elemental in addition to its other types, has indestructible, haste, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Whoa. So immediately, this wants 4 mana artifacts and enchantments on the board.
In the Gruul colors, though.
In the Gruul colors. But it also doesn't say non-creature. So you could just play a You could play Roaming Throne, naming Golem. or no, it would name, you could name whatever. You could name Raccoon Bard. Or you can name Raccoon. And then it itself is a raccoon and will double its combat damage trigger to draw 2 cards. It also gains indestructible and haste.
Or you could have Roaming Throne name Elemental, and then everything else that Bello is animating is now double triggering.
Oh, that's right. It turns them into elementals. Great. Yeah, that's what you want to do for sure. Name elementals. Wild. Seems neat.
I'm expecting like Omnath and Friends to be in that deck.
Yeah.
Or high value.
But it doesn't care about elementals. It just happens to make them elementals.
True, you're right.
Also, did we determine that is a Hedron from Zendikar?
That would make sense why it cares about elementals.
Oh my god, that's so sick. Okay, so that's the Bard. Okay, so this is the Family Matters deck. Make Offspring go wide. 3 mana for a 1/3 legendary bird Bard. It's flying. It gets +X+O, where X is the number of other creatures you control with base power 1. And creature spells you cast have Offspring 2. So you're going wide by doing the Offspring cost on stuff, which makes 1/1 copies of your creatures.
Yeah, and it's worded like Duskna the Rage Mother, that it doesn't care if its power has been modified past that point. If it has a base of 1, Zinnia will still get the boost.
This would be an amazing place to reprint Esper Sentinel.
Oh,
That's gross. Esper Sentinel with Offspring 2. Want that for Xyrus.
The joke of this deck is going to be how many reprint cards you just shit out babies of.
Truly. Yeah. That's wild. Okay, well, Offspring is exactly the thing here. It's an additional cost. So if you have cost reducers, you could do the Offspring cheaper as well. Okay, so that's that one. Let's talk about Hazel the Root Bloom. It's a Squirrel Druid, 4 mana for a 3/5. So a little more expensive than the others. You tap it, pay 2 life, and tap X untapped tokens you control to add X mana in any combination of colors.
Wow. You could...
your treasures just all of a sudden don't need to sacrifice.
At the beginning of you can use your food for mana.
Yeah. And at the beginning of your end step, you make a token that's a copy of a token you control. If that token is a squirrel, instead you make 2 tokens that are copies of it. So you're either making squirrel tokens and just making a ton of mana to make extra squirrels, or Mark Rosewater, he cooked here. Guaranteed.
Yeah,
somebody cooked here.
The man loves
caches
squirrels.
That is a man who loves squirrels. And then, okay, the last one is... Oh, hold on, didn't quite make it. Ms. Bumbleflower. It's a 1 in Bant for a rabbit citizen. It's a 1/5 with vigilance. When you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card. Put a counter on target creature. It gains flying until the end of turn. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, you draw 2 cards. Immediately, this has to go in Cross for Chase. Because you're just gonna... You cast 2 spells. You put 2 +1/+1 counters on 2 things. Tap them, goad them. And then you draw 2 cards if it's the second time it's happened. That's crazy. This is really sick. So it's Group Hug. My only fear with this is, like, Group Hug is it's really tough to play. So there's got to be stuff in here that's going to punish your opponents for drawing cards.
Yeah, or like encouraging or even forcing combat to go in different directions apart from you. So like we have seen how Chase's Cross deck is built in such a way that like we're doing the boosts to our boards, but that in turn is then forcing us to go to combat against each other. So I'm imagining like this is the colors for like Propaganda, Ghostly Prison, and then blue and white is pretty heavy with Goad.
Yeah. Neat. Yeah, dude. Oh, it's the buy box promo. Flubs the Fool is Timmer for a Frog Scout. You can play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card if you have no cards in hand. Otherwise, discard a card. Weird. So he wants you to get Hellbent and then every time you play a land, you draw a card. Play another land, draw a card, cast a spell, draw a card.
But if you have no cards in hand,
dang,
I don't think that's good.
I love it, dude.
I don't know.
Love this. Timur Reanimator, perhaps.
I don't know,
because you want to discard stuff.
Go back to your Frog Noble friend. I wanna see him.
Glarb, Calamity's Augur, is Sultai. Tell me that that's not Tasigur. Tell me that it's not.
I mean,
Crazy.
He's the right colors.
Right colors. He's leaning the right way. Anyway, Frog Wizard Noble. It's Sultai colors for a 2/4 Death Touch. You get the Future Sight. You can look at the top card of your library at any time. You can play lands and cast spells with mana value 4 or greater from the top of your library. And then you can tap him to Surveil too. That's really good. That's so strong.
Neat. That reads like that's like Mystic Forge.
Yeah, it's like Mystic Forge, but for any spell that costs 4 or greater.
Wow.
So like really good with the evoke spells. Like all of the free evoke elementals, you just get to play those. Oh, you wouldn't get to, because that requires exiling. No, you totally would. Because evoke isn't just from hand, is it?
I don't believe so. It's just a cost that you can pay.
Okay, so you play Glurb, you play all of the evoke spells that you can. Anything that cares about surveilling, like from the this would be a great, well, I guess that's not a precon. I could do a precon mashup of this and the Mirko Obsessive Theorist. But man, this is tight.
Yeah, go.
Dude, I'm feeling really good about this.
Go to those Calamity Beasts. I'm gonna look at that guy again.
The Calamity Beasts. Which one's that?
They had both of them on screen at one point.
These guys, right? Maha and Igra.
Yeah.
Okay, so Maha is 5 mana for a 6/5 with Flying Trample, Ward, discard a card, and creatures your opponents control have base toughness 1. It's all upside. That's crazy. That's going to be very strong. Yeah, and then Igra is so cool. Yeah, that's the Toxrill bonkers stuff. That goes crazy with Toxrill. Igra, I'm so interested in this. 5 mana for a 6/6 with Ward, sacrifice a food. And then other creatures are food artifacts in addition to their other types and have the food ability of sacrificing it and gaining 3 life. And then whenever a food is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on Igra.
She's just a hungry cat.
Hungry cat. Dang. Well, that's the stream. A lot of cool stuff in there. A lot of cool stuff.
Nice. We'll have some spoilers to sift through. Like I said, the daily MTG thing is going to be starting in a few hours. More spoilers will begin over the course of the day today.
Yeah. Tight. Let me get a nice screen to end on. August 2nd. Love it.
Very nice.
Well, I think that's about us for this one. Let us know in the chat, in the comments, what cards from this you're excited for, and we'll see you with more Bloomburrow content. Catch you guys later.